All your phones work together on one number.
I spy a Hawaiian.
And Hawaiian.
Hey, Christy. It's funny to see Lauren's face and Lynn's name underneath it.
I'm a new person.
Yay, there's a lot of people jumping on. I'm excited.
Yee, me too.
You want me to kind of open us up in a minute here?
Yeah, I guess it keeps going up, so.
Yeah, we can wait a minute.
Me too, Rebecca. Any day.
On your way, girl. We'll just wait another minute.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hit record. Oh, wait. It is. No, it's recording.
Yeah, I see it. Yes, that's recording. Okay, there's still some people jumping on, but we'll get started, and we're recording it, so I think it'll download to Lauren's computer, and she can send it to the team page later. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm really excited. I wasn't sure if we were going to have anyone since our fearless leaders are on vacation there, but I have to tell you, I'm sure most of you agree that there is some serious motivation over here for us at home watching our leaders who are on these amazing trips. Lynn just leaving LA and meeting up with Steph and Christy in Kona. And I think we've got Christy on the line here. I'm not sure how her connection is, but hey, Christy, thank you for joining us tonight. So exciting. I love like living through your pictures right now and just visualizing myself on that beach right there with you guys. So thank you for sharing everything of your experiences for us to dream big so that we can all be there next year. That sounds fun. I think you're all.
Hey, I just wanted to say hi really quick. Love you girls. And we are having a great time. It's only 2:33 here, so we got a whole lot of day left. But we are going to keep sending those photos. We have our first reception tonight. So I'm sure that we'll be able to get a bunch of ladies together and we'll do a live video later. So if you're up late, you can look forward to that. If not, you'll have that for a treat in the morning. So,
Awesome.
But I love you girls. I am so proud of everything that you guys are doing tonight. And I will let you girls take it away. So have a good one.
Thank you. Have fun. Be safe. We're so glad that everyone's safe too. I'm sure all of you heard of that really devastating news this morning with the Diamond bus. Obviously, our hearts go out to the family of the driver and all of our Diamonds who were affected by that. And some actually, I think I've heard even went home, which I don't blame them because I'm sure they wanted to go home and hug their babies. So we'll get started. I have kind of some housekeeping, boring stuff. And then there's some really great inspirational messages from the rest of our GEM leaders here who are going to share with you tonight. So I'll just get my stuff out of the way. I wanted to share on two things, just kind of some tips on Facebook posting, which I know I've done a lot, and sometimes you guys some of you may have already heard some of this, but hopefully I have some new information or some good tips for people who haven't heard yet. And then I'm going to go over compliance real quick, which everyone's doing a really great job, but maybe just kind of a reminder that Plexus does not, you know what, let me rewind. Sorry. For anyone who might not know me, I'm Jessica Pierce. I am a senior Ruby ambassador, and I'm under Team Allen, obviously, but directly under Christy Stamey. And then I'm also the leader of our amazing team, Team Boss, who is on fire, and I'm super proud of all of our team and all of us, of course. We're all in this together, so we're doing a really great job. So compliance. Plexus never can claim to treat, diagnose, or cure a disease. And since our growth has been exponential over the last few years, we're looked at, we're scrutinized. And it's a good thing because it's going to keep us in line with following the guidelines that we should be following anyway. And it's just going to ensure that Plexus is going to be around for the long haul. As most of you probably already know, the headquarters in Scottsdale has leased, 90 to 100-year lease on the property of the big giant warehouse that they just opened up, which I'm going to be visiting next month, and I'm excited if anyone wants to follow that journey. I won the Silver Stars trip, so I'm going to be doing everything I can to share that experience with everyone on my Facebook page. So compliance is pretty cut and dry and simple. We just have to be very careful that we aren't claiming that Plexus can cure a disease. And although we have many people, our closest friends and relatives, who have seen like amazing results and relief from a lot of symptoms, of course we know Plexus isn't curing specific diseases. So I'm just going to use a couple specific examples, and then maybe we can that'll help to kind of get the wheels turning about how you can be creative with sharing about how Plexus can help people, but still stay within the guidelines of compliance. Migraines, for example, is one that we cannot specifically use that term. So everyone who's experienced a migraine, they can tell you it's debilitating. You can't be in a lit room. You have to hide, I have to hide under covers. Loud noises hurt. So if you think about creative ways to describe certain ailments, you could still get your message across really well. So any diabetes specifically, we can't say that word, but I will tell you, my mom is type 2 diabetic, and she has seen exceptional results. I just have to be careful about how I explain that. You can talk more candidly in a private message, and you can share personal testimonies a little, easier, a little more leniently. But just be aware of what you're doing and how you're presenting these products in the public eye. And I know a lot of you probably aren't sharing publicly yet. I know I didn't for probably the first year. All of my posts were still only to my friends, but now I am just sharing publicly because I know that I have people that are following my page that we aren't necessarily friends yet. So I just want to get my message out to everyone. So I have to be really conscious of, the product claims that I'm making. So now that we've got the clinical trials, which is amazing, it is still just focused on weight loss, but I have faith that there's going to be some other trials coming out that would help explain. I'm hoping ProBio is next. But for now, those testimonies are really great. Just make sure that you're using the before and afters that are approved. And it's so obvious between the ones before that we just kind of cut and paste and made our own to the ones now that are Plexus branded. So make sure that you're using those, but they are allowed to be used in your public posts. I think that's about it for compliance. It's nothing to be scared of. It's just something that is going to keep us on the right track and not get into trouble with the government. So let's just focus on that. And I think you'll be okay. As far as Facebook posting goes, remember that this is your own personal page. So you don't want to ever lose sight of that. Yes, you are representing a company now and you are viewed as that. So you want to remember that you are your brand and to keep it positive, but not everyone is going to want to join your journey, and that's okay. Those friends have been friends for years and years, and you don't want to lose sight of that friendship. So I really highly recommend that you still connect to all of your friends at different levels. Make sure that you're posting as genuinely and as personally as possible. I think that when you can focus on that and stay away from kind of salesy types of graphics and salesy posts, then people are going to look at you just how they always have. This is my friend. Yes, she's me personally. She shares a lot of stuff about her son, and I love seeing that. Maybe I'm not interested in Plexus, but maybe someday she's going to post something that kind of hits home and connects to me, and I trust her, and she's a good person. Like, stay kind of the course of what your original Facebook page was before Plexus. Don't lose sight of that, and let all of your posts don't spew Plexus all day long and lose what your original Facebook, page was about, which was whatever your your passions are, whatever you were involved in before Plexus. Just don't lose that. Once you have committed, you know what? I have some notes here, so sorry if I'm looking dumb. New ambassadors, I always encourage all of our new ambassadors who are so new that they are really, really excited, but they're not quite sure what to share yet. You absolutely can, and we encourage it, that everyone on this team will agree that you can use any post that you see others posting. But keep in mind that I'm going to go back to what I said before. The more personal and the more genuine and the more vulnerable you are about your posting, the more attention you're going to get. So new ambassadors are absolutely encouraged and welcome to use anything personally that I post, okay? But don't copy my own personal testimony and make that your own post, because that's not genuine. And, if we're just Plexus friends and we don't have any mutual friends, then posting and using things that other teammates use is a little easier. But keep in mind, if you have mutual friends that you guys went to high school together, or you're in some group together, and so you have mutual friends that you're trying to share and educate Plexus about, and then your teammate is copying exactly what you're doing and posting it the next day, that's not going to come off genuine. So just be mindful of what you're posting, what your teammates are posting, and when. You definitely can use any of our other posts, but I really recommend I've always told our team this, save a post. If you see something you really like, save it and post it a week from now. Don't let one post kind of grow legs and go throughout our whole team in 24 hours. Because then it just takes away from the personal touch and the genuineness of what we're trying to do here. Just to kind of tie into that, for new ambassadors, we always recommend that you copy and paste anything that you see. Don't hit the share button. And there's a few reasons, but the first one, and the most important to me personally, when I see someone that shared something, chances are I'm scrolling right past it. I don't really stop. I mean, maybe if it's an article, something that catches my eye, I'll stop and read it. But for the most part, people don't pay attention to that. So if you're making something your own post, it's more likely to catch someone's eye. So yes, you can use what you see, especially like the educational posts. If you see one of us post something about a specific product and you really like that, absolutely go ahead and use it. But just make sure that you're copying and pasting and making it your own post, because it'll just look like it's more authentic coming from you. This is something that we've known for a long time, but we just started to kind of hit home more about it, is Facebook, their algorithms are all screwed up. Personally, that's my opinion. And you don't see posts come in the actual time that they're posted. I could open up my Facebook on my phone right now, and posts from Saturday would start showing up. So I'm sure probably most of you have noticed that. And the reason being is, first of all, Facebook is going to show you posts from people that you interact with the most. That being said, we absolutely encourage that everyone help each other and help. We're all a team. We all want to help create our success together. And at the same time, we don't want to lose our non-Plexus audience. So it's kind of like a fine line that you want to make sure that you're interacting with people who are not Plexus related, so that you're showing up in their newsfeed and they're showing up in yours. And what I mean by that is not just liking a post or a picture, because for some reason likes don't count. Even happy birthday messages, it doesn't seem that those work either to get the people back into your newsfeed or vice versa. So you really want to go and be very intentional and genuine, of course, and message people, comment underneath their posts, comment underneath pictures. Facebook's going to look at that as like, oh, well, they're interacting with this person. They want to see their daily posts. And you'll notice every time I've done this, maybe a week or every week or two, I try to go in and interact with the whole chunk of non-Plexus related people. And all of a sudden you start to see your newsfeed changing. So it really, it's a way to kind of trick the system, but it works. On top of that though, and this is kind of like the double-edged sword here, is that you do definitely want to interact with your non-Plexus people, but you want to interact with your Plexus teammates as well, because like I said, we're all a team and we all want to help each other. So Facebook, another, I guess, part of their algorithms is that once you get 3 comments under one post, it kind of grows legs and it'll show up in a news feed more often, or it gets kind of a bump. So it gets the opportunity to go up to the news feed, to more friends' news feeds, I suppose I should say. So our team has really been working on this hard over the last few weeks, and I think it's done a lot of a benefit for us. So what we do is we're scrolling along, and before we would just like it. Oh, my teammate said this, like. Well, that was still not getting a whole lot of traction, and they weren't getting a lot of attention. We've now started to be more intentional and actually posting, and we know we're busy. So if you can throw in a sentence or two about how that specific post connects to you and what it's done for you too, not only does just your comment help their audience see kind of like the third-party validation also, is that, wow, it's helping not just Jessica, who's posting about this all the time, but look at all these people underneath this comment or this post that it's helping as well. And then it also helps to kind of boost that post back into the news feed. So we've been doing that a lot lately, is trying to each of us make posts underneath, or comments underneath our posts. And that seems to be helping a lot. So show your team some support and comment when you can. Instead of just a like, it helps to just throw in a little comment there. Once you've committed to the business, this is again for the new ambassadors, it's really important to stay consistent. So you started your products, you're really excited, or maybe you haven't even gotten them yet, and you made a post, and then a week went by and you didn't say anything else. So anyone who was interested in the beginning, they forgot that you even started Plexus. So when you do commit to it and you make that first post, it's really important to stay consistent. A lot of people, well, first, because of what I just told you with Facebook algorithms, your posts aren't always showing up in everyone's newsfeed anyway. But a lot of people are going to sit back and watch you. And I have people still to this day, I've been doing this for 16 plus months now, and I have people still just now joining me that watched and asked and questioned in the very, very beginning. But I've never missed one single day of Facebook posting. And I can guarantee that's a huge reason why people are still joining me now, because they were the ones who kind of sat back. They were very, very skeptical, and they wanted to see if I was going to quit. They wanted to see if it was just a fad. They wanted to see, fill in the blank, whatever their skeptical minds were thinking. It's finally kind of hitting home for them now that Jessica Means Business. This is serious. This is stuff that's really working. And when I tell them, I've got 500 people between customers and ambassadors that are feeling differences and seeing all these benefits, then unfortunately, not everyone has that story yet, but I didn't either in the beginning. I just have stayed super, super consistent with it. And I've been turning skeptics into believers for a long time. So it's just you just have to stick with it and not give up. That's a really important, easy tip, but it's so important, and it's probably the best advice that I got from the beginning, was just that if you can stick with this, then goals will be reached. Timelines might change, but you will hit your goals eventually. I think that might be it. As far as graphics goes, I just want to touch on this because I've seen it a little bit lately, but stay away from the salesy stuff. That's another thing. People are just going to scroll by. People want to hear how these products are helping you, how this business opportunity is helping your family. That's what's going to gain the attention. That's what's going to get their interest. And they're going to be able to connect with you on a personal level with whatever your personal journey is. I do definitely still try to educate my audience with I usually try like one product educational post and then something personal to catch their attention too. But anything that first of all is a blurry graphic, if you can't read it, don't post it. If your eyes are like, whoa, tweaking out, don't post it. It just doesn't, no one's going to pay attention to that. And you might get an eye roll or two. You don't want that. Stick with as genuine and personal as you can, and you're going to get people who love and trust you, or people who you haven't seen in 15 years. And that's why Facebook really is, we're very, very lucky that this is the avenue that we have. I'm telling you, 98% of my business is done on Facebook. I'm now much more bold about talking to people face to face, but I wasn't for a long time. And we're very lucky that we don't have sales quotas and requirements where we have to pick up the phone and call 20 people a day. I know people who do that. I know people who have to do one Facebook Live feed every day for 30 days. And some people are probably like, oh, no big deal. And some people, that would terrify you. I know I wouldn't do well with that. So we are really, really lucky that we don't have any quotas like that. We don't have any requirements. It's all just about us being kind of the voice for these products that really do speak for themselves. We're just here to educate and give our friends the decision, or give them the opportunity to make the educated decision for themselves. So Facebook's amazing, and it's an awesome tool that everyone should use every single day. And that's where I'm going to end at. Thank you for listening to me.
Yes, that was great. Lori, you're cracking me up over there. Or with people's website on the image. Yes, that would be a big no-no. You don't want to share an image with someone else's website on it.
Yes. Unfortunately, we've seen that too. But you know what? That actually reminds me of one other thing, kind of a Facebook no-no. You don't want to post your website. Reason being, a couple of reasons. One is Facebook's going to flag that as you working a business, where they charge businesses to advertise. And if you're trying to sneak in some advertising, some free advertisement by posting your website, they're going to flag you, and they might throw you in Facebook jail. I don't even know what they do. I've heard some crazy stuff. And then also because you really want to educate your friends on what these products are, what they're going to do, what they're going to feel, how these are products that they haven't seeing. Like they're deficient in these vitamins and minerals that that Plexus can provide. So if you were just to post your website, they're going to click on that. They're going to look at a price of something and they're going to say, oh, nope, not for me. And they don't have no idea what this product is. They have no idea what it's going to do for them. So it's really, the website's the very last thing I give them. And it's when they're ready to order. I say, okay, let's do this. Go to my website and here's the steps. So just something to keep in mind. I would not recommend that you ever post your website on a post. And that's it.
Yes, I agree. That was all awesome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to go ahead and go next, and I am going to touch on our belief and commitment. And I believe that they're two of the most important factors in our success with Plexus. I know that they have been huge in my journey so far, and they're definitely going to be things that are going to set you apart from everyone else. So belief. If you lack belief, you really, 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 really have to dig deep, and you have to find it. If you don't have belief yet, if you're just starting out, if you're a new ambassador, you're just getting started, borrow our belief. Like, we have enough belief to share with all of you. Borrow your upline's belief. I know Rebecca and I tell our team all the time, but if you don't quite have that belief yet, like, use our belief. There is not a single person that is going to make fun of us, that's going to put us down, that's going to laugh behind our back, that's going to quit, that is going to deter us, or that's going to hinder our belief. Nothing is going to change our belief. And my hopes are that everybody will find that belief. And so a couple of ways to help grow your belief in Plexus. I know when I was starting out, I would read countless testimonies. I'm not sure if everyone is plugged into our Plexus Journeys page. It's a group page on Facebook. It's just for ambassadors, and it's filled with thousands of testimonies. So obviously some of them we cannot share compliantly. But it's awesome for us to be able to read and to see real people have these real life testimonies. And another thing is YouTube. I am a visual learner, so I always dive into videos, and I spend hours, probably a day, on YouTube watching training videos. But more importantly, when you're building that belief, watching those testimonials of ambassadors or customers, they're in their home and they're recording, they're just from their phone, their own testimony. Most of them are very endearing. They a lot of times bring me to tears. They're just super awesome. And they really helped at the beginning when I didn't really know anything about what Plexus was, but I was out there like sharing like a crazy person and building my belief. So definitely get linked into our testimonies and what our products are doing for people. And then also I watch a ton of diamond documentaries, and that is going to help build our belief in this opportunity and this company and what they're doing and the lives that they are changing in such a huge, huge way. I read a testimony the other day about a diamond ambassador who had no money. Her husband was taking out, loans, and I mean, life changes. So watch those diamond documentaries. Start following as many jewels and diamonds as you can on Facebook. See how they're posting. Relate to their life. Like, just for a second, imagine yourself recording your own diamond documentary. I know that I do it all the time, and I might be the only crazy person, but I'm like, one day I'm going to be recording mine, and just envision it. Envision what your life is going to be like when you are a diamond. Like, imagine yourself at the top. So that leads me into having belief in yourself, because that is everything. If you don't have belief in yourself, no one is going to have belief in what you're doing. You have to have that belief in yourself. Do you see yourself becoming a diamond? Do you know without a shadow of a doubt that you are going to make it to the top of this company? That you're going to become a great leader, that you're going to have thousands of people under you that have life-altering changes, that have seen huge health testimonials, that have financial freedom. You have to have belief in yourself. Be your biggest cheerleader. I know when I started out, my husband was the most skeptical person you could just ever imagine. And I think he just maybe came around last month. But he, be your own cheerleader. Even if people are doubting you all around, like, have that belief in yourself that you are going to do this, use it to light your fire. And ways to build on your own belief or belief in yourself is personal development books. I mean, I can't say enough about them. I know when Lynn was telling us that we needed to start reading these self-growth books and dive into this, it seemed crazy to me. I know it might seem crazy to some of you guys, but it makes all the difference in what you believe and how you think about yourself and the way that you're talking. I know that she just was going over that recently, self-talk. It's everything. If you guys are talking negatively to yourself and you're saying that you can't do this, or you don't know, I don't know if I can talk to that person, whatever it is, just say that you can do it. Say that you will do it. It's going to happen. And it really, our brains are very, very powerful. And if we're telling ourselves that we're going to do something, I can pretty much guarantee that it's going to happen. So believe and know that you are part of something huge, something so incredible. And I'll finish up the belief section with some words that Sonia Dudley shared with us. She said, "You're a part of building a legacy and branding a culture for Plexus. The next 5 years, all of us, every single one of us on this call, all 70 of us are responsible for what will be with Plexus forever. We are a part of something huge. This is so incredible. So have belief, build belief, and keep growing that belief. Never stop growing on your belief." So that kind of leads me into my next little topic, which is commitment. And I was watching a motivational video one day, and it was about, the time that we have in our day. So we only have 24 hours in a day, and your success is dependent on how you use those 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours. The only difference is how successful people are using that 24 hours. So lots of us are doing okay, and it's working. But we want to get to that next level. But none of us are going to reach that next level if we aren't committed every day to being better and doing more than we did yesterday, improving on something, growing every day. I used to be in bed at probably like 9 o'clock every night, and I would lay in bed and watch TV, and then I would go to sleep. And I really enjoyed sleeping. I like to sleep in. And when I think back now, I'm like, man, I really wasted a lot of time. A lot of years and a lot of time was wasted on sleeping, like 12 hours gone of my day because I was wanting to lay in the bed and watch TV and be lazy and then go to sleep. And now, since starting Plexus, I probably most nights go to bed around 1 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock. My husband looks at me and he has no idea what in the world has happened to me. He thinks like an alien invaded my body and like took over. But, we only have so much time. And I know that we're all so busy, but if we want this and we're committed enough to making this happen, we will not make excuses, and we will be committed to finding a way to make it happen. So, when I started going to bed in the early morning hours, I found an extra 6 hours to work this business at the beginning. That was completely retaining as much as I could, watching as many videos as I could, everything imaginable that I could get my hands on. I was doing it. And so I would just say that if you can, obviously not everybody is going to be a crazy lunatic like me and be up until 1 o'clock in the morning, but if you can spare, go to bed an hour later and dive into some training videos or dive into your team, if you're lucky enough to already have people that are wanting to work this with you. So commit to this process, and you will for sure commit to making it to the top. Sacrifice now. Be committed. Be committed. The key is sacrificing today for a better tomorrow. I love that. I love hearing that. I love when people put that out there, because I know for a lot of us, we're invested in this and we want this for so many reasons, but is it worth the sacrifice that we can put in, for a year or 2 years, so that for the rest of our lives, we can live the way that we want to live? I know I made a post the other day about my husband leaving and my kids not wanting them to leave. And it's like, if I can sacrifice for a year and do everything that I can to bring him home, like, why would we not do this? Or whatever your reasoning is. I mean, we all have different reasons on why we want to be successful and why we're doing this. So I would say to, commit to daily IPAs, commit to personal development, commit to your team, commit to becoming a great leader, commit to these contests and these trainings. We are so blessed. I talk to people that are under people that do no sort of training. They do nothing for their team. Like, we are so fortunate to have the leaders that we do, and to be following in their footsteps, and to just have them pouring everything that they have into us. So if you're not taking advantage of these opportunities that they are giving to us, I would just really, really encourage you to try and get linked into as many as you can. And they really, really, really will make you grow in such a huge way. So I'll wrap up. Just remember, we only have 24 hours in a day. Don't waste any of this precious time that God is giving to us. Go make today and every day amazing, and fall asleep with a sense of accomplishment, and wake up in the morning with that same burning passion, like every day. And you're just going to explode, and it's going to be so amazing. And I'll get off of my soapbox now. And I think that's going to lead in good to, I think Lori's going to go next, and it kind of leads in perfectly to what she's going to share with us. So yay, Lori, you ready?
AJ's gone.
It's okay, you can go. He went back to sleep.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Do you really want me to go?
Sure, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, you guys. Hi. I'm Lori Zdrowski, Senior Ruby Ambassador, Texas Worldwide. I'm going to get emotional because I always do, and I'm going through a little bit right now, so this is really hard for me. And plus, Carrie just sent me a message of how grateful she is. Anyway, so she's to blame for my tears right now. Anyways, what I wanted to touch on was your passion feeding your purpose. Those two are really, really powerful, and those two will really, really take you far in this business. I think it has with me. I had notes. Yesterday, I wrote a long, long list of notes and everything, and I just kind of said, screw it, because I'm not good at keeping things short. So I'm really going to try to actually reference back to these notes to keep me on track, because I'm a little all over the place. But I think we all have a passion, and I think that passion is this business, because we have been given products that literally change lives, and we all know this. So, because we're a product of the product. So I'm assuming that many of you that have been with Texas for a while are passionate about the product, because we are a product of the product, like I mentioned. And that are on here, you will see, you will really, really see how passionate you will be about these products. And, what I was going to say was, I'm telling you, this is not a good night for me, but we now have a purpose, and that purpose is to reach out to every single one that we love. There's so many people, everybody out there, and I've said this before, need these products. But the one thing that really, really, really gets in our way, and what Lauren touched on, is our head, our own self, our fears of reaching out. And we have these obstacles and roadblocks, and that's what's kind of not stalling getting to our purpose, because we already have a purpose, but we have to conquer those fears. And what I was going to say was, there's pretty much three things that we really, really need to work on. And I know a lot of us have these same fears. And that's afraid of what people think with all of our posting and what they're going to think being an MLM. And then also, oh, see, I'm a hot mess right now, so bear with. I'm trying to go off my notes that it's just all over the place. Which are afraid of what people think and lack of confidence in ourselves. And I already said the fear of reaching out, which honestly, if we can conquer those 3 things, there's nothing that can stop us, because it's only ourselves that is stopping us. I even have to honestly work on that every stinking day. I'm reaching out to people. It's not the easiest thing to do. My senior Ruby status and getting there as quick as I did, a lot of it is because of my team. But it's also because a lot of people reached out. And guess what? I have to reach out now because my market has kind of just like, gone cold. So it's very, very, very important. If we participate in these IPAs that we're doing, you will build your confidence. You will conquer those fears if we keep doing it over and over and over. Mark Manson, he's really cool. I don't know if any of you have heard of him, but he kind of says, and it's kind of liberating, he says you really need to, he asks a question, and he says, I'm not going to swear, but I'm going to say a different word in place of it. What's your flavor of a crap sandwich? And can I have it with an olive? Because once you learn how to swallow that crap sandwich, you literally will overcome. You can, I don't want to say swallow anything, but once you can swallow it and get past it, you can eat any crap sandwich that is handed to you. And we all eat one every day. So if you just pick your flavor, which is your fear, this will help us. And then, oh, there was a note to that. Oh, and moral of the story, we are all going to have to eat a crab sandwich, and at one point, and maybe every day. We may as well get used to swallowing it, because it's only going to make us stronger, grow, more confident, and create belief in ourselves, which will instill more confidence and lead to our successes and our dreams. Oh, and then one of the things that really helped me fuel my passion was, sometimes it kind of helps if you kind of can relate to, for example, me. I had extreme anxiety, depression, and OCD, like crazy OCD. And I know the pain of having the anxiety because it was so debilitating. Now, what I just want to reach out to every single person that I know suffering with that, because I know I can make it better. So that really fuels my fire, just to, you just want to open your arms and wrap your arms around them. So that is just one of the things that really, like I said, fuels me. And then, oh Lordy. And like I said earlier, my passion or my purpose, my passion of helping others has truly led to my purpose. And I actually never thought I was going to find my purpose again in life. In fact, this is really kind of messed up. But 3 to 4 years ago, when I dissolved my company, Z Matrix, I was Googling how to find your purpose. Seriously, who does that? Me? I mean, I'm a Google queen or anything, but I was Googling. I was going to Google for answers. I really, really was. And then 8 months ago, Plexus just fell into my lap. And it was a blessing to me. And I don't want to repeat myself when I keep saying that, but it was a very unexpected blessing. And when I started with Plexus, I said I didn't need the money. Well, God has thrown me some really big challenges. I don't know it's not what I've done, but it's been a struggle for the past 2 months. And I could have given up really, really easy. But watching those diamonds and our friends, who are real friends, they're reaching their dreams, living the dream, knowing that they can do it, we can do it. Let that also fuel your, passion. It gives you a purpose. This all really gives us a purpose. we have a purpose to reach out and help change the world, because literally that's what we're doing. We're literally helping others. And with that, especially with moods and anxiety, you're changing the world. The world is really literally a better place, I think. But so anyways, I told you I was a hot mess tonight. Sorry, guys. Like I said, it's been rough. But I'm just going to close with this and just get this over really, really quick for you all. But I was just going to say, our heart's compassion and love for helping others play such an important role in this, that it makes it even easier for us to build our dreams, because the sky is the limit. Let your passion fuel you. I think all of us that constantly share being authentic and participating in the IPAs and contests have found our true purpose. So if you are actively participating in these things, this will help you be so successful and take you so far in this company if you're just putting in the effort. And then I'm just gonna leave it this, because I gotta quit, because this is a hot mess, like I said. I love this quote. It's not even a quote. I picked it up somewhere, but complacency is our enemy. Never ever just settle. Never ever get complacent. If we get complacent, that means we're comfortable. You want to work hard and really, really work at conquering your fears, because that is what is going to make you succeed. Feed your passion, for it will fuel your purpose. And it's just, my passion for helping others has gotten me to where I am. I love my team. I love this huge opportunity that we've been given. And honestly, it kind of come into my life at a better time. And I just wanted this for all of you guys. And sorry, this is so crappy. This was really hard for me to do tonight, and I was not prepared. So I'm having a brain freeze. But anyway, that's it. I got to end that right now. It was terrible.
You did great, Lori. That was great. Thank you for reminding us all that. Thank you for reminding us all that we have fears, that we need to eat like a crap sandwich.
Yes, you are the most, your passion is amazing. So we can all definitely learn from you in that department, because it's just exploding in everything that you do. So you couldn't have shared a better topic with us.
I agree. I will tell you all real quick that Lori, the reason that she is where she is because of her passion from day one to help as many people as possible. She is the biggest believer in these products, more than anyone I know. I mean, we all obviously really fully believe in these products, but she really is that's what drives her passion. So thank you for sharing that, Lori. You did great.
Thanks, and sorry, guys.
Don't apologize. You were perfect. I don't know how I'm going to follow those three ladies, because all of you have done amazing, and you're all so motivating and so inspiring. I was just going to share a few really simple tips tonight. And I think that's what it comes down to. I think a lot of people try to overcomplicate this business a little bit, and it's really just simple things that will lead you to be successful. I tell my team, so I'm sorry to my team who's listening, who's heard this before, but the 3 Ps are what I go back to all the time. Be positive, be patient, and be persistent. Those 3 things are going to get you so far. To stay positive, to be persistent in reaching out to people and following up, and just be patient. That's my number one piece of advice, because it took me 2 months to go silver. That's a pretty long time to find 3 people. And one was my husband and one was my mom. So, I mean, that kind of shows you it took me a while. And I started from day one posting on Facebook and reaching out. And come to find out after I talked to Lynn a little bit about it, I wasn't really reaching out in the right way. But it took me 2 months to go silver and then 6 months to go gold. I easily could have given up after those 2 months. Easily could have said, wow, that was way too hard to get 3 people. This business is not what I thought. I don't think I can do this. But because I had a reason and I knew I needed to keep going, I knew that if I wanted to leave my teaching job at the end of the school year, that I needed to be making the same, if not more money. I kept going. And I really had faith in the business. I had faith in the products. I had my own personal testimony that I knew they worked. And I knew that if I just kept sharing, it would eventually start to come around. We've all heard the analogy that we're farmers, not hunters. So the seeds that we're planting this month, we might not see them come to fruition till next month or the month after. Like Jessica said, she still has people just now contacting her from, I don't remember how long you said, but a long time ago. I'm in month 9, and I now have people who say, okay, I've been watching you this whole time, and now I'm ready, or now I want to know what it is, or I see that you're still posting about it, so it must really work. So it's true that you have to just be very patient with it. And along with the 3 Ps, you also have to be consistent. So like she said, consistent in your posting, consistent in reaching out. And those really are the main things that you have to do. I think if you be conscious of adding new people to your network all the time, adding new people on Facebook. I used to be afraid when all of those suggested friends would pop up, and I'd be like, oh, well, I haven't talked to that girl since high school, and she probably doesn't like me very much, and so I wouldn't friend them. Well, now you better believe every single person that comes up in my suggested friends, if I know who they are, I immediately click on them. And I think it's made a huge difference. I have friended a ton of the mothers from the school I used to work at. And before, I would have been afraid to be their friend. I have friended so many of them, and I can't tell you how many of them have reached out to me. So you have to find your networks where you can. And if you don't have something that you think you can tap into, then it's time to join something else. Join a new workout group, join a gym, join a mom's group, a gardening group, whatever it is that you're interested in. It's really important to keep adding to your network. And along with what Lauren said about participating in everything, Lynn offers the best trainings and challengings, and I've been really lucky pretty much since I've joined. Pretty much every month, I think, she has done something, and I have done every single one. And I can't tell you how helpful they have all been. So the second she offers something, I'm on it, and I'm a part of it. And I'm not going to lie, some of it is hard. Some of it is a lot of work. Some of it is stuff that I don't want to do that pushes me out of my comfort zone, but I do it all, and it makes a huge difference. Everything she posts on our team page, every video, I always watch it and comment on it because it makes a difference to me. Sometimes if I just watch it or I'm listening to it in the background and then I never comment or anything, I don't remember much about that video, but something about picking out what really stood out to me and writing it down helps me to remember that video. And then when I want to recommend it to a team member, it's that much easier to go, oh, I remember watching a video about that. So I would really suggest you do that. Just be active on our team page. Stay plugged in. If you don't get the notifications when Lynn posts in it, turn them on so that you see it. Because I hear some people sometimes be like, oh yeah, I haven't checked that page in a week or so. No, you need to be checking it every single day. And if you can't remember, then turn the notifications on so that you see she has posted. Because Lynn posts in it every single day. And the stuff that she puts up is really good. And be on our team call every Monday night. I know it's hard sometimes. You know, I do my best to make a point to be sitting in front of the computer so I can take notes, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. And sometimes I'm listening to it while I'm making lunches and doing dishes, or sometimes I have it on headphones while I'm putting my kids to bed. So, I much prefer that I can sit down and really focus on it, but if I can't, I'm still on it no matter what. I told the story before. My sister is a bartender, and she had a bartending competition a couple months ago, and so I was in a bar listening to our team call one Monday night. So you just make it a priority because there's always going to be good stuff on it, and there's always going to be something that will light your fire again. I find that every week. The last thing is what we hear from pretty much everybody is the time, or someone who's new and they feel overwhelmed by the tasks they're supposed to do, or they're overwhelmed by all of the team pages. My suggestion is if you can focus on your 3+3 every day, so reach out or follow up with 3 people every day, and do your 3 Facebook posts. If you can just make sure you're doing those 2 things, reaching out and posting, then you're in a really good place. And if you can't get to all the videos until the weekend, then fine. But try to focus on your 3+3. And if even that is too much for you at the very beginning, start small. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. If you feel like you've never posted on Facebook before, so how can you suddenly start posting 3 times a day? Make a commitment that you're going to post once every day. Start with that. And once you've got that going, then twice every day. Small steps is really going to help you to not feel overwhelmed, to not feel like you don't have time. Because really the things we have to do don't take a lot of time. It takes a minute to send a message to somebody. And the voice messages help so much with that. It's even faster when you can just talk into the phone real quick. So it's more about making it a priority. And just figure out what works for you with your schedule. When I was still working, it was really hard to find time during the day to post because I didn't ever want to do it at school because I felt like that would look bad if I was posting on Facebook at my job. So I had to plan out that I would post before I got to work and then as soon as I left at the end of the day. But my problem was that I never had time in the mornings to write out a post. I didn't want to do it while I was there. So I started writing my posts at nighttime and I would just save them in the notes section of my phone. And I think a lot of people do that. Or like Jessica said, you see a post from someone else that you like, save it into the notes section of your phone. And then you have a post whenever you need it. So you just have to figure out what works for you and your schedule. You know, I've heard some people say, well, you need to get up half an hour earlier every day to do this. My sleep is so important to me and I would never get up half an hour early. So my baby's waking up all night long. So I suck up every amount of sleep I can get. But so figure out what works for you. If you're not going to get up early, then maybe you're going to stay up 30 minutes later at night. Or maybe instead of eating lunch with your friends at work, you're going to do it on your lunch break. So you really have to just think about what works for you. And these are all the same pieces of advice that I've given to my team. And, you know, I thought about it tonight and what I was going to talk about, but there's no different ones because those are really the main things to focus on. This is a simple business. And what Lynn has trained us to do is what works. So that's why they talk about duplication. You know, just keep following that same system. Be patient, be persistent, be positive, and I promise you, you will succeed. And that's all I've got.
Yes, that's awesome. That was so awesome. I love that. I wrote down the 3 Ps. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. So I think Rebecca is going to go next. Rebecca, you there? I don't see.
I'm here.
Okay, there. Yay.
Okay, so I'll be quick, but I just want to encourage everyone tonight that you're hearing like all this awesome advice and you're hearing all this inspiration, but you're sitting there thinking, but I'm shy, or I'm an introvert, or I could never see myself talking on a team call, nevertheless standing up at a sip and see, or actually talking to people in person about Plexus. Like, that's not me. And I'm here to tell you, if you're thinking that, you're wrong, because I am that introvert. I'm very shy. Just, you know, kindergarten teacher from a very small town that never had any network marketing experience. I remember this time last year thinking, God, I would never be on the team call like that. How do they get up and talk? Like, it's not my thing. I mean, it's just, I love people and I love helping others, but you put me in a room with people and I'd much rather listen, and I'm more comfortable with silence than having to talk. So, I know it's tempting to look at other diamonds and even the other people on our team who are so, you know, well-spoken and just so outgoing, and you think that's why they're successful, because of their personality. And that might be part of it, but introverts can do this too. And I feel like my journey has kind of helped prove in that. So here's what I found. Like, my friends and family know me, so when I started posting on Facebook about Plexus, they were like, okay, there must be something to this, because she doesn't just post, she doesn't just put herself out there. When I started doing videos and like doing team calls and showing people that my success, even people on my team now are like, Rebecca, you inspired me, because if you can do this, I can too. I mean, that's literally what they told me. I don't know if how I should feel about that. No, but what I found is that Facebook and all of our trainings, like Facebook is my best friend because I can post and I can message people without having to talk. As bad as that sounds, like that's how I grew my business for the longest time. And then as my business started growing and I started like getting a team and like my belief, as Lauren was talking about, your belief starts growing, and then you're willing to kind of put yourself out there and say, okay, I'll talk on a team call, or I'll stand up at a sip and see and share my testimony, or I'll get on a phone call with someone who's interested. And you just start slowly putting yourself out there, and then the belief just continues to grow. And I love like these team calls that I can hop on and no one has to see me or hear me. Like it's perfect. It's inspiration. It's every week. I also love the trainings online. Like you can run trainings for your team and they don't ever have to see your face and they're still effective because Diamonds and Jules have already done training videos for us. So, I mean, those are all perfect ways for introverts. We have so many resources that we can use that you don't have to be super outgoing or super well-spoken, that you can still reach people, because the majority of people, you know, they are scared and they have a lot of insecurities and they don't want to put themselves out there. So you show them that it can be done. Look at my notes really fast. So just think about the resources that we have and how they can help you kind of overcome your introvert, your shyness, you know, and even if you're not good at Facebook posting, because that was me in the beginning, like you can learn, you can follow people, you can copy what they're doing, you can kind of see how they post, and you can really teach yourself how to be more engaging on Facebook. And then I think that's just what I wanted to encourage everyone tonight is, you know, the only way, this is what I tell all my team too on their calls, the only way you fail in this business is if you quit, is if you give up. Even on the hard days, you know, I was stuck at silver for 6 or 7 months. So, I mean, I could have quit and then here, I wouldn't be here now. So that's the only way you fail in this is if you quit and you stop showing up to the team calls and you stop putting yourself out there and doing the daily activities. So be encouraged that I totally believe that everyone can do this no matter your personality type or what you're going through. You've heard so much inspiration tonight. All of us have different walks of life going through different things, and we've all been successful. So I truly believe everyone can do this. I love you all, and that's all I'm going to share.
Yes, I love that. I love hearing your story because, I mean, I knew you before Plexus and knew how introverted you were. And so when people say that they're scared or, you know, that they just can't do that, I just love hearing your story, and introverts can do this. We can grow. We can bust out of those comfort zones. And, you know, I just love your story. And I think Kristen is going to share just very briefly. I know we're right at an hour, but she, I know, has something that she wants to share as well. So Kristen, can you
hear me?
Yourself? Yes. Hey.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very much like Rebecca. I'm introverted. I don't like talking to people, and doing this right here is a huge step for me, big time out of my comfort zone. So what has helped me? The IPA groups. That has really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Lynn runs a tough IPA group, and it has made me realize that I wasn't really working my business. You know, what do you do every day to work your business? You can't just message people. You can't just, oh, hey, how's it going? You have to actually reach out. You have to send videos. You have to watch videos. You have to learn yourself and build your belief and your confidence and all that. Make the connections, build the relationships. So yeah, when I really thought I was working my business, I was not really working my business. So the IPA groups is what really helped me. So if you have the opportunity to get into one of her IPA groups, I really encourage you to do that. That's really helped me big time. So I'll be short and sweet like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. I know that it's hard, but I promise, I know it becomes more comfortable if that helps the more you do it. Not everyone is as crazy outspoken. That's what I always say when we're on our calls with Rebecca. I'm like, not everyone just wants to like talk and share with everyone like Jessica and I. We don't mind talking. We'll talk to you guys for hours if you guys want to hang on. So no, I'm just kidding. I know you're probably all sick of us. But I know Michelle's on. Michelle, you have anything you want to add? I know you are a wealth of knowledge.
No, you guys, I mean, you touched on so much, and I couldn't agree with all of you more. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, and I felt for me, it went quick. I built most of my business on Facebook, 95% of it. And then, things slowed up. I made it Senior Ruby, and things slowed up after that, for the last year, and it's been a roller coaster. So it's just, I mean, I've gone down, I've gone up, I've gone down again. I just don't give up, and I have no want to give up. Like, I'm going to keep going no matter how long it takes. I could go all the way back to silver and would not give up. But yeah, I'm very much an introvert too. So, doing things like this, is way out of my comfort zone, and getting up, sipping teas and speaking, things like that. But yeah, I try to push myself more and more all the time, and it's slowly helping. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just don't give up. That's would be my key thing, and show up, in all the team pages, participate where you can. When I started this, I worked full time, 50 to 60 hours a week, sometimes 2 babies, and literally I would take a break in 5 minutes, respond to somebody or post real quick, or, after my babies would go to bed, I would spend 30 minutes because I was exhausted too, doing this. So it was very much nooks and crannies. And even now that I'm home, thankfully, because of Plexus, I'm still very busy because of my kids. So it's, when I'm running them someplace and sitting in the car or stoplight, sometimes I do a quick post or something, or, respond back to a message. And so, I mean, following up, that would be one of my key things, I would say. I feel like sometimes, and then not just following up with people, about the business, but just following them up with, checking, how are you doing? Don't even talk to them about Plexus sometimes, ask them how they're doing, not just every time you talk to them, it's about Plexus, because then that's going to turn people off, I feel. But that's it. That's really all I have.
Okay. Well, thank you. You're such an inspiration to so many of us. And I love you. So we are going to wrap it up, but I know that Madeline had a question about sharing with strangers. So do any of you guys have any advice for, sharing with the people in Target or the checkout lady at Publix, or, we hear all these things that we should be doing every day. So what are some of the things that you guys go-to things for sharing with strangers? Anyone?
I'm no Chris McCall, of course, who's going to hunt someone down in the vitamin aisle, but and throw my card in their pocket. But I actually focus more on connecting with them and building a relation, trying to create a relationship, a friendship, and a lot of times it doesn't even include Plexus, but in some way trying to connect with them so that we can then stay connected. I have a lot of, I join some Mom and Me exercise groups and yogas and things like that. Or if I were to run into someone, or let's say this actually did happen to me. I had a waitress at the local restaurant that we go to all the time, who she knows me, but just because she's been our server for so long. And finally, I just got the courage and said, I think you are just such a wonderful person, and your personality is just so contagious. And I'm not sure if this is something that you'd be interested in, but I have found a wonderful opportunity that's allowed me to stay home and really connect with people and just to build people up and be a really positive encourager and inspiration for their lives. And I think it's something that you would do just amazing at. And if there's any chance that you'd be interested, I'd love to talk to you more about it. And she was like, of course I'm interested. That sounds so great. The way that I guess described it just made it intriguing to her. So from there I was like, let's be friends on Facebook. I'm never going to, shove it down your throat, but I just want, I can I knew that by connecting her to me on Facebook, she'd be able to, in a non-threatening way, then see how I work my business, and then, kind of genuinely and naturally, that would create a conversation from there. There's lots of ways that people, like I said, Chris McCall, who's super courageous, will just kind of tell people how it is. Even Eric Paul will go, hunt people down at the Costco lines and stuff like that. So if you're not brave like that, which I am not, I just try to connect with people on a personal level. And find ways to stay connected with them so that we could be friends and build a friendship. And then sometimes, especially for like the introverts, like Rebecca's talking about, like then Facebook kind of takes over and does some of the work for you, at least to help open the door. In the beginning, I made some friends at a mom-to-mom sale that I definitely, I had a table there, so I was a little more confident talking about Plexus, but to start the conversation with someone next to me, I was still a little afraid of doing. So I made Facebook friends before I left that day, and she has since joined me, but it took her a couple months to do that, of watching my posts and just seeing, how genuine I was and how much I believed in the products. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Oh, and really, really quick, I will add, I had this one great experience, and I did not expect it. I was shopping for my dress for a convention, for a winter's dinner. And I went into Nordstrom's, and my husband was rather ticked at me because I was there for like an hour and a half. Well, what I would do and what I suggest is always carrying Slim in your purse, because you never know who you're going to roll up on and how the conversations are going to roll about. So anyways, I was literally going into the dress room with all these dresses, and my hot date was actually Lauren, and I was her date. Anyways, the lady was like, "Oh, this dress looks great. Oh, I love this dress." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. I'm so happy I can fit in a size 8 because I used to be a size 12. And then, of course, well, not me, because many of you don't know me, but I was like, it was all because of it, and it just really, really came out. Next thing you know, I had like all the sales girls, there was like 5 of them surrounding me in the dressing room. And I was just like literally there for probably about 20 to 30 minutes talking to them. So I did hand them my phone, and every single one of them added me on Facebook. But you know where I failed? I have no idea who they are and where they went. I don't know. But it was a great opportunity. Everybody was excited. And I learned from that. But seriously, I had 5 to 6 girls. Even the registered girl goes, "Oh, I've heard about it. It sounds so exciting." And I said, "Yes, and you have to join our team because we have the best team out there and one of the fastest growing ones." And so, like I said, I really need to go through my friends list and see if I can kind of find them. But, they're seeing my posts if they're still friends of mine or whatever. But it's just really important. And I didn't expect it. It happens. So just be natural, just be you, and carry those Slim packets in your purse so you can give them out. Get your cards, get business cards.
Yes, I love that.
You can throw Slims to anyone you see yawning. There's your open door right there.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of times it'll organically come up in conversation if you're just paying attention and you're engaged with the people. A lot of times they'll give you some sort of indicator, some sort of clue that you can go off of, or that you can somehow relate it back to your story, or some testimony that you've read, or something where you can organically bring it up. And sometimes, like Jessica said, you're going to see your best results with not being right in their face up front about it, and kind of taking a more laid back approach and friending them on Facebook and building that relationship. It goes a really, really long way. So I hope that helped answer some of your questions. I know sharing with people, strangers especially, because you never know what the heck they're going to ask you, or get you off of your rhythm and what you have lined out to say to people. So it can be scary, but most of the time, I was telling Ashley today when we were together, they're not going to ask you about specific ingredients and stuff like that. They're going to ask, if they ask questions, it's going to be pretty baseline things that we can, share with them. And most of the time, they just want to hear your story. They want to hear what it's doing for you, what it's doing for people in your life. So I hope that helped, Madeline. And I'm so grateful for all of you guys that jumped on tonight. I miss our leaders, but I'm glad that we got to do this and all be together still, so we didn't have to miss our team call. And I can't wait to continue seeing their pictures and videos, and I can't wait for all of us to be there next year. And I know, like Jessica said, it is like lighting a fire all over again, seeing them there, and all of us wanting to be there next year. And I mean, anybody that is on this call can make that happen. I don't care if you haven't even hit silver yet. You know, there were people that were there this year that hadn't even heard of Plexus this time last year. So you're already up a notch in that level. So I would just encourage everyone, and we can do this. We can all do this. So thanks for getting on with us tonight, and everyone have a good rest of the week and a good night. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.